Gifts in tow, Nicholas fumed as he saddled his horse and concentrated on what to say when he arrived at the farm. Though he had tried to catch Catherine's attention, she seemed indifferent to his jokes and silliness. He'd thought feigning death had been a good idea at the time, but it offended her. Now, as he prepared to see her, perhaps for the last time, he wanted to make an impression. At the farm, the Catalan family was finishing their midday meal when Nicholas arrived. Father Brignon slid aside to make room for Nicholas on the bench. Catherine brought him a slice of cheese and a mug of rye ale and sat across from him. He nodded his thanks and said, "I brought something for you." Her eyes flashed. "Did you bring another book to read to us?" "Yes, and Martin gave me this one by Rabelais." "Did he bring it from Geneva?" Nicholas blinked in surprise. "What do you know about Geneva?" A smug expression crossed her face. "I know things." He fidgeted in embarrassment, but then their eyes met, and he saw mischief before she continued. "Martin said he attended the university, but the Calvinists forced him to flee. He said they accused him of Catholic sympathies, but I didn't understand. We're Catholic. Why do we need sympathy?" "Oh, Martin accepts Catholics," Nicholas said. "He doesn't hate Catholics." "Humph," Father Brignon muttered. She turned to the priest. "Do Protestants hate Catholics?" He raised his scruffy gray brows. "Some Protestants hate Catholics, and some Catholics hate Protestants. Some Protestants even hate other types of Protestants." Sighing, he added, "Everyone is a heretic to someone." Catherine breathed in sharply and covered her lips with her fingers. "So Martin could be burned like a witch, but he is so nice." "No, he's safe here," Nicholas said, shaking his head. "The Counts of Salm don't force religion on their subjects. One of them is Catholic, the other is Protestant. They are brothers-in-law and have a good relationship." Father Brignon nodded. "Some day people will learn to love their neighbor as themselves." Catherine's eyes sparkled as she turned back to Nicholas. "Teach me more." "Now, Catherine," Marie said, "we have other worries besides the business of lords and their wars. Are there any happy stories in there?" She pointed to the book. Without warning, Francisca jumped up and raised her hands. "Silence!" Everyone turned to her and waited. Her eyes widened in fear, and she fled into the back room with Marie and Humbert right behind her. Nicholas's gaze caught Father Brignon's. "What's wrong?" The priest replied with a shrug. Marie returned in a rush, panicked. "Joseph, the water, quickly!" The boy fetched the half-full bucket from the work table. Ripping it from his hand, Marie filled a canteen and disappeared out back again, reappearing without a word of explanation. She straightened her posture, readjusted her headscarf, brushed off her apron, and cleared the table as if nothing had happened. A few moments later, Humbert returned, panting and covered with sweat. He wiped his brow and announced that Francisca would not be joining them for the rest of the afternoon. The clamor of hooves and rattle of a wagon arose out front. "Stay here," Humbert ordered them before running to the door. When Father Brignon followed Humbert, Nicholas jumped up too. Father Michel, driving a cart escorted by 5 deputies on horseback, approached the house. Nicholas paled, shoved the book into his shirt, and laced his jerkin tightly. Humbert stormed out the door. "What's going on here?" He stood firm, unflinching, as the guards rushed him. "We know that witch is here," Michel said, following the guards. "Step aside, Humbert." "What witch?" He pointed at Humbert and hissed, "Let us in, or they will kill you." Father Brignon stepped between them, shouting, "What is the meaning of this?" Michel flinched. "Father Brignon?" When the last horseman dismounted and joined them, Nicholas's eyes bulged. It was Louis Gautier, the provost and highest-ranking nobleman in the area, and his father's oldest friend. Nicholas pushed to the front. "Louis, what's the problem?" Louis jerked his head in surprise. "Nicholas, I didn't realize you were here." He turned to Humbert. "I'm sorry to trouble you folks, but Father Michel has charged Madame Francisca with witchcraft for causing a snake bite, and he is insisting we bring her in for questioning." Nicholas's jaw dropped. "Snake bite? I was the one bitten, last week."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.